Hello and welcome to a special Gloom and Doom Extended Rares Report for July 27th, 2013. Starting off with Easter egg, we can see that the prices slid off a little bit, but not really significant in our big long-term chart here. But when we go and look at the chart for the Easter egg prices on the Grand Exchange Central, we can see that prices have come up and leveled out and come up, and we're in the middle of a 1, 2, 3 top formation right here. Moving on to pumpkin prices, we can see that they slid off throughout the last 24 hours and passed very important levels of support and resistance, coming right down to these levels that we saw in the panic drop about a month ago. However, when we look at the price charts created from the Runescape Grand Exchange prices versus what we're actually trading the pumpkin prices for, these charts don't give us any indication that's going to help us determine when to buy and sell in this particular item. Moving on to Disco Returning, we can see a long downward trend twice off this bottom part, and now we have a little triangle formation set up. But with the overall look of the rares in the long term, this is still not looking like a buy signal. And if we compare our weekly and our monthly charts for the Disc of Returning to the Grand Exchange Central charts, we can see that it doesn't really give us any indication at all here about what's really going on in the prices of the market today and over the last little while. Moving on to Half Jug of Wine, we can see that the prices recovered a little bit over the last couple of days, and we are really sitting at these very important levels where the prices are bouncing off the same as they were before. And if we switch over to the long-term charts for the Half Jug of Wine in the Grand Exchange Central, it really doesn't give us any indication at all what's going on. It's still saying 320 million gold pieces for this item, but of course we're trading it for over 1 billion gold pieces on a regular basis, 1.3 billion gold pieces. And so this means the charts on the Grand Exchange Central really can't tell us what's going on the price of Half Jug of Wine. Now, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I always want to tell you when to buy, when to sell out, but right now this breakdown is a continuation of this confirmed downtrend, and it really can't be ignored, especially when we look at the Grand Exchange Central charts for this. When we look at the really long-term charts for the purple party hats, we can see that we had a really great buy signal right here. And you can see that this took from January until April for this to form. Long time before this big rise in prices went in from April until the very beginning of June. And now we are at a 1, 2, 3 top formation, and it's broken below that, showing the beginning and confirming the beginning of a downtrend according to this very long-term chart. Moving on to the yellow party hat, it had a drop in price over the last 24 hours. You can see it's a continuation of this downtrend, a continuation of this sharp downtrend, and I'm no longer believing that it's going to be bouncing off these levels. And this is one of the troubles of this short bit of data. I didn't go back and enter all the information that I could have from the forums, and so this is actually a very limited piece of data. And when we go and look at the price of yellow party hat over the historical time, now it becomes a very different perspective. This is much the same, very, very long uptrend, and then it accelerated. And now we're at the 1, 2, 3 top formation again, looking like it's about to go down from here. And so when we return to the shorter term charts and we're looking at this kind of formation here, when you look at the long-term perspective and the fact that we have a 1, 2, 3 top formation confirmed on the longer-term charts, then this is less inviting. And again here in the green party hat, although this was looking very good and could be a nice spring-off point, and it really could be, when we look at the longer-term charts, it's less inviting again. So here's where our charts sort of cover, and if I draw this back for a full year, we can really see a different layout to the prices. Now we've got this same long formation, acceleration, and a top formation. Moving on to Red Party Hat, this is a very important breakdown, even if we're not looking at the very long-term charts, that it broke down below these prices instead of bouncing off again and going higher is foreboding for the future of this market. It really does look like it is on its way down now. And when we take a look at the longest term charts that I have pulled up here and ready, very much the same formation, also making a top formation here in the market. So this is not as inviting as it was to me just the last couple days, because I was not looking at the long-term perspective. White Party Hat prices were reset down again overnight, and here we are, lower, continuing the downtrend. And right now, the price charts that we have going on for our reports are the only ones available that actually show you what's going on with White Party Hat, because when it gets above this price, that's it. The Grand Exchange and the Runescape can't track it. Blue Party Hat prices were reduced in price yesterday, but stayed at that same posted price today. And again, when we look at the long-term charts for Blue Party Hat and Christmas Cracker, it's just a flat line at the max price in the GE. So we can't track it at all there. Moving on to yet more Gloom and Doom, where Green Halloween dropped below prices. I was hoping it would not drop below. And now it's looking also bearish. Bearish is down, bullish is up. Because when a bear and a bull fight, a bear will claw down with its claws, and a bull will put its head down and rear up with its horns. So when the prices are going up, it's a bull market. When the prices are going down, it's a bear market. And this is looking pretty bearish. And these prices are looking particularly bearish, again, because of this explosion out of prices here in May, and the fact that we have a 1, 2, 3 top formation, and the prices look like they're breaking below this triangle formation at the apex of a recent surge in prices. So that gives me the feeling, certainly the chart pattern tells me that this is a down time in the market. Moving on to Blue Halloween, this was looking to me like a really sharply flexed spring, and the prices were going to be bounding off of that. And they're still within this triangle. But when we take a look at the long-term charts for Blue Halloween Mask, we are in a massive triangle, and it's also a 1, 2, 3, 4 top formation that has not been completed yet. So if I could put a number here, this would be a number 1, this would be the number 2, this would be the number 3, and when the prices break below this number 2 point, that's a confirmation of a reversal, a top pattern, and prices coming down. Our Red Halloween Mask prices showed a bit of strength actually throughout the day, but nothing significant as prices just sort of wobble around. When we take it to longer term prices, this is sort of the price range we're working with now in the charts that we have. When I open this up to the full past year, we've got very much the same picture again, where it's a 1, 2, 3 top formation right at this point where it could be dropping off from there. And this is the kind of formation we're looking for, but of course it's completely out of scale now because of the increase in price, over 100 million gold pieces in this last bit of time. And now on to everybody's favorite Santa hat. This was looking like a flag for a sell signal. And now it's it's still within this channel, and it still looks like a flag to a sell signal to me. And that's running along flat. We've got this triangle formation. And if we go look at the very long-term charts, and we zoom out from this little view that we have, again, we're looking at a 1, 2, 3 top formation here, really explosive. And even more, this appears to be having some change in momentum. If I could draw a curve, this looks like a baseball that's been thrown into the air and is losing momentum at the same time that it's making a potential top formation. While everything else is doing that, it gives me the idea that it's probably time to implement rule number 1 and get out of my positions in the rares and just watch it for now. And that's it for this Gloom and Doom Rares report. Hopefully this review of the market and the longer term perspective is going to save a bunch of you from investing in rares. You may want to turn your money into cash right now. There will be time to buy the rares back if they start going up a little bit. But for me right now, the long-term charts and those top formations make me want to get out. This is not what I want to be buying into. I want to look at things that are at their long-term really lows, not just a couple of 1 month low, but a 1 year low, like we're seeing with air runes that are now taking off from low prices. Earth runes, this kind of item is really in a position to go 200-300% in prices or more, and I don't see that kind of upside potential at all for the rares right now.